Greetings and salutations. I am Cole Williams. I am a recording artist, a radio host, songwriter, organizer with the Unhoused community. And on this platform, I'm sharing my personal testimonies that I hope can inspire and empower you to be a better you, but then go out into the community and make us a stronger, more humane global community. So today I want to speak to you about gifts and talents. You know, I grew up in the church. I grew up as a Seventh-day Adventist. So for the first 17 years of my life, I was in church about 3 days a week. And we had to read the Bible and do all these lessons. And I didn't get it. You know, you got to live it to really understand these beautiful stories and beautiful lessons that are wrapped up in the Bible. But one story in particular that I absolutely adore and that really grows every time I think about it and read it is the story of the 3 men with the gifts. So we're going to paint this picture. We're going to modernize this story. So in the Bible, there was a boss. He was going away, probably on a conference, and he left his 3 employees with some tasks, some gifts, some talents. So employee 1, he gives 10 talents. Employee 2, he gave 5 talents. Employee 3, 1 talent. He left, might have been gone for about a few weeks, didn't check in, but when he came back, he called a conference meeting. He called his 3 employees to the table. The employee number 1 that received the 10 talents, he asked, "So how did you do with those talents?" Employee 1 says, "I took those 10 talents and I multiplied them. They're now 20 talents. He says, "Well done." That man gets a promotion. Employee 2, "All right, so I gave you 5 talents. What did you do with them?" Employee 2 says, "Well, you know, I was really focused. I was doing my thing. I had such a good time exploring my abilities with these 5 talents that guess what? I multiplied them. They are now 10 talents. The boss says, "Excellent job. You got a promotion. You got a raise too." Employee number 3 that received 1 talent. The boss says, "All right, now I gave you 1 talent. Tell me, show me, what have you done with this 1 talent?" Employee 1 says, "Well, you know, you gave me 1 talent. It seemed like a pretty big deal. So what I did was I put it in the safety deposit box because I didn't want to lose it. So here's your 1 talent back. I didn't multiply it into anything more, but I'm giving you back what you gave me." Do you know what the employer said? The employer says, "I gave you 1 talent and you hid it. You didn't share it with anyone. You didn't multiply it. You didn't put your stamp on it. You didn't show to me why I gave you in particular this 1 talent. So you know what? I'm going to take that 1 talent away and I'm going to give it to my other 2 employees that have shown what they can do with talents and gifts." I want to share to you that we are all, each and every one of us, are born with a talent, a gift. There's something that we all do naturally, that we were all given, not just to keep for ourselves, but to share with the world. What I see a lot, especially as a musician, somebody in the public eye, is I see a lot of this. "I wish I had that talent. Oh, I wish I had that gift. If I had that, I would. If only I was," and I don't. Forgetting the gifts and the talents that are sitting right in front of you. It's not for us to decide what talent we were given, what we should have been given, and not do anything with the talents we do possess and sit on them and hide them in a safety deposit box and not spread them to the world. So you know what happens? Those talents become removed. Let me share a personal story with you. When I first started singing, I decided I wanted to be a professional singer. I was working with a management company, and the head manager actually happened to be a phenomenal vocalist and a vocal coach. So that was my first vocal coach. And, I came from the Seventh-day Adventist Church. If you know anything about Seventh-day Adventist Church, we are not known for our gospel singing. We are not known for the Baptist Holy Ghost rollers, in the aisles with the tambourine. We're known for being very vanilla with our praise of God. So I came to the table with a talent. I knew I could sing. I knew I could stay in key. I knew I could harmonize. But I wasn't in the place yet where I was feeling the music that I was singing about. So there was another singer there, a little bit older than me. And so we were both new, started with this management company. And so she sang. And I just remember thinking, oh my goodness, this girl got soul. Damn, I wish I had that kind of soul. But that never stopped me. I said, I'm going to sing my song when it's my turn. So I was asked to sing. And I sang a song, I think maybe it was His Eyes on the Sparrow. And I sang it. And I thought I did pretty good. I stayed in key. If you were singing, that's like one of your top three. You got to stay in key. We can't hear you if we don't feel where it is that you're coming from and you're going. So I stayed in tune, and I wasn't feeling like I did an excellent job like the other girl with the soul, but I thought I did a great job. I thought I did a good job. So the manager, the head of the management company, the vocalist, the vocal coach, she says to me after I finished singing, Cole, you ain't got no soul. Woo, that hit me. I said, I didn't know what to say. But I thought, well, I got to find some soul and I got to get it. I don't know where I'm going to find the soul, but I'm going to find it and I'm going to get it. So fast forward a little bit. We stopped working with the management company. Myself, and the other singer, we became friends. And she, through a friend of hers, was introduced to this vocal coach and vocalist. Phenomenal man. This is the man that changed my life. And she was given his information. And she decided to bring me with her on her first meeting. So we had a consultation, both of us, we had been knocked down and beat down by this woman in this management company because they weren't encouraging. We're going to talk about that in another episode, because you really have to be around people that support you and encourage you, can feel your vision. Even though they can't see it, they support you because they know your life. But anyway, back to the story. So we went to see this new vocal coach, and we both did the same thing. We both sang individually. And then he took his time with each of us to talk to us, to ask us about ourselves and where we're coming from, what are our goals. You see, this man was interested in developing us. He wanted to know where you're coming from so I can help you get to where you're going. And he decided to take us on as students. But the one thing that he said to my friend is, wow, you didn't even get your foot in the door, but you brought this girl with you. And she said, that's my friend. And he said, whoa, that's big. So, if you've taken vocal lessons or any kind of lesson, you meet with their instructor at least once a week. So once a week, I would travel from Brooklyn to Manhattan. And I live in a two-fare zone. So if you're outside of New York City, a two-fare zone is when you don't just take the subway to get to Manhattan or across the bridge. You have to take a bus, then transfer from the bus to get to the subway. So every Saturday, I took the bus or a dollar van. And then from there, I transferred to the train. And then I walked to the studio. So that was about an hour and a half traveling time each way. And I traveled and I saw that man every week, I think for about 4 years. And I remember this man, like one time he had me crying. I just broke up with my high school sweetheart and I wrote this song and he helped me write it and he's playing the piano. And I'm like, I can't do it. I'm hurting. He's like, Cole, sing, Cole, sing. And I'm like, I can't sing. And he's like, sing it, girl. I just started singing and I'm just like, ah. And I'm yelling, the sound doesn't sound right, but I'm getting something out of me. I'm going deeper, I'm feeling. Because that's what music is about. You got to feel it. I don't care what school you went to, how many notes you could read, how many chords you know how to play. If you ain't feeling the music, you ain't playing the music, and can't nobody feel you. And that's what my vocal coach, my second vocal coach that changed my life, taught me. He taught me to feel it. And when you feel it, then we can like start talking about tuning and how to use your instrument. And that was a breakthrough. Now, my friend that brought me to this vocal coach, she wasn't going every week. She would go 1 week and then maybe miss about a couple of weeks and go back, and maybe miss about another couple of weeks. And, you know, when I went, I was practicing at home because I was told you got to practice. So I would practice during the week and I would come back because I'm ready to get some more knowledge. And, you know, she would get her lesson and she would go home, but she wasn't practicing. And so little by little, I watched as like I kept like pursuing my dreams, because now like I'm practicing and I'm feeling more confident in my craft. And now I'm being selected and being in these circles where I can start getting calls to sing backgrounds for performers live in studio. I've always been a writer. So, you know, I started getting called for more writing sessions, and because I'm a singer, I could always demo those sessions, and you know how it goes. And my friend, I watched her kind of stay in the same place. And I wasn't, you know, judging or anything. I was just noticing. And then I started to feel a little more soulful. And I started to feel a little more soulful. And, you know, full circle, full circle, full circle. And you keep evolving. You know, when you finish that circle, you move to the next circle. And, you know, you take it higher and you take it higher and you take it higher. To right now, I'm very confident in my craft and my skill. I may not be the most soulful, but I'm cold soulful. I may not be the best singer, but I'm the best cold singer. And I know can't nobody do what I do. Because when I'm singing this music, I'm singing it from my heart. And I'm singing it because I want to touch a soul that's going through something that I've written about, or going through something that I'm singing about. And I know the power of the message of music. And so, you know, I don't know if you do this, but what I do is every so often, about 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, a couple years, I just take account of, you know, the people in my life, who's around me, like who's in my inner circle. Like, what are those people doing? You know, how have they grown? How am I inspired by them? How am I empowered by them? And I thought about this friend. We definitely had lost touch after a while. Always still cool. I always love her. I still love her to this day. We don't speak as often. We used to speak once a day. We started speaking once a week. And that moved to like once a month. That moved to like once every 6 months. That moved to like once a couple of years, few years, 5 years. You feel me? And think about your life. How many things happen in your life in a year, in a couple of years, in 5 years? So you must imagine that when I speak to this old friend, I have grown. I have experiences, and she has done things, and she has experiences. So we have to always kind of get to know each other. You know, I'm still grounded. I'm still cool. I'm still have that same personality of integrity and love and kindness and compassion that I always had. But I've evolved and I've gotten mature. And I started to share things with her. You know, I'm singing here. Oh, I just did this recording. I just recorded my new single. I recorded my new album, working with this person. And one day I noticed, you know, she's never said, wow, you're doing a good job, Cole. Wow, you're doing great. I can't believe how far you came, because back in the day, our first vocal coach and manager said that you ain't got no soul. And I know you got soul. Side note, I know I got soul right now. Can't nobody tell me I don't got no soul. Okay. Back to the present. And I realized she has never celebrated, but she says that she's my friend. And at first I got so like offended. You know, I was thinking, do I have a conversation with this person? Like, what do I say? Do I tell her, like, you're not a friend to me? You're not celebrating me? Like, and then I thought about that story in the Bible in Matthew about the 3 men and the gifts. And the one man with the one gift that never used his gift. and had that gift taken away. And then I became aware. And when I became aware, I became compassionate. And when I became compassionate, I became peaceful again. And I realized it's not that my friend can't see the growth. It's not that she's not feeling it, but it's that my success is a mirror image. It's showing her. She can't see past her not doing the things that she could have done to continue to grow as a singer. She's looking at what she didn't do. She didn't go to those vocal lessons weekly. She didn't practice. She didn't hone in on her craft. She didn't take it seriously. And my growth, she can't celebrate it because she's not celebrating herself. All right, y'all. So I'm sharing to you that when you don't use your gifts, it's hard for you to celebrate other people that are using their gifts and shining. When you are trying to shine with your gifts, if you are actively utilizing your gifts and your talents, it's going to be hard for your friends that aren't using their gifts and their talents to celebrate you that are using their gifts and talents. And how are you supposed to continue growing if your inner circle isn't celebrating you? And that can be your mother that's not celebrating you. That can be your father that's not celebrating you. It can be your sister that's not celebrating you. It can be your best friend. Y'all grew up together. Y'all did everything together, but they're not celebrating you. I'm here to share with you. If you have a circle that's not celebrating you, it's time to reevaluate your circle. And if you want to continue to grow, you have to grow with people that are going to celebrate you, just like you celebrate them. So if you don't use your gifts, if you don't use your talents, you lose those gifts and talents. So that's why it's important for me to share my gifts, my skill, my talents, and my resources, not just with the people in my music community, and not just with the people in my neighborhood that might be doing less than, but with the bottom of humanity, the bottom of society, the people that are living on the streets, the unhoused, the displaced, the homeless. It's important for me to share what I've learned and what I've known, what I've embraced as a young Black woman, as a young empowered woman, as a young person, as a healer, as a musician, and as an organizer. It is important for me to share all of my God-given gifts, skills, talents, and resources with those who have never had a support system to celebrate them and to bring them up. So today, look to your left. Look to your right. Look at those people. Ask yourself a real question. Are those people celebrating me, or are they quiet every time I'm successful? And if they are, you need to get yourself a new set of people and a new set of friends and a new circle, and get you a circle that embraces you. This doesn't mean that you don't love them. This doesn't mean that you're not there for them. But in order for you to achieve your goals and become what God wants you to become a person that is going to uplift humanity, oh, you need support, baby. So get that support. And while you're getting that support, share that support. Share your gifts, share your talents, share your resources, share your skills with everybody. But in particular, share them with the least of us. And let's get into some bottom-up organizing. If you like what you heard, click the like button. If you like what you heard so much that you feel like you're going to do something different today, put a comment up in there. If you don't like what you heard, put a comment up in there. And if you feel so inspired that you're going to walk differently, go ahead and share this with somebody that you know will benefit from this message. I love you all so much. I'll see you next time.